What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Honestly, it's been a pretty slow week here in the garage. We haven't been doing much. We do have a lot planned for the following weeks, so I know we're gonna be busy, but in the meantime, I've been kind of enjoying the nice and quiet because for the most part, we don't have much planned for the G80 at least until we kind of finish up with this video. Then we'll have something for that. And then the E30 is not here, so we don't have anything for the E30 either. But speaking of work for the G80, we actually got a pretty big package here from Alpha N. And if you know that company, you can probably guess what I got. But we need to go ahead and open this thing up and show it to you guys. But it looks like Customs actually cut a hole in here so they can check what it was and make sure there wasn't anything that's not supposed to be in there. But yeah, this is one of those things where I have not seen a lot of G80 owners do it on their car. It's also a very aggressive, subtle flex. I don't know if that makes sense, but once you see it, I think you'll know what I mean. And just like that, we got it opened up. They honestly take packaging very seriously, which I love because now you know your parts won't get damaged. But it's a pretty big part, so take your guesses down below what you think it is. Oh, that's actually insane. That's actually insane. And from the shape, I'm guessing you guys can understand what we got here. Let's go ahead and open this thing up. They actually really took their time packaging this thing up, which is very nice to see. Moment of truth. Honestly, these things are so cool, and I'm actually very happy that I went with this design. But as you can see, these things are beautiful. So we got full carbon, and not just full carbon, but dry carbon, which is a lot stronger than wet carbon. And yeah, honestly, I want to get these on the car ASAP. To give you guys a little bit more context into what the plan is and why I went with this style of fender. One, because there's other fenders out there and they have very aggressive venting. Right across the top here, the vents are like this big and they span all the way out to like about here. And there's also another design that goes from right about here and kind of flows with the same exact styling, but flows all the way down. Now, if you know my G80, I have a very clean, classy look. At least that's what I think it is. And every build has a style. There's the track style, there's that stand style, there's so many different styles that you can go, but I wanted to make sure that I stayed true to the style of my car and what it has already. So that's why I went with this. And if that doesn't make sense, I'm sorry, I might just not be explaining it right. Hopefully that does make sense to some of you guys. But the reason I went with this is because one, you could tell it's aftermarket. It's not OEM, but it's also not too aggressive where it won't look good on my car. So we got some small vents right here. What I'm gonna do is go ahead and leave these exposed. And then you have this bigger vent right here. And this also kind of follows that OEM badge body line right here. So that's where usually the OEM badge sits. And it kind of uses that same design element and goes all the way down. That's kind of why I like this Alpha N style or this Alpha N fender more than the other ones out there. And we're gonna get this thing paint matched. Now, getting this thing on the car and having a full carbon fender would look great, and it would be very cool for like the track aesthetic or for like a very aggressive style build. But I don't know if I want that look. Like I'm not gonna say it won't look good. I just think it's gonna look a little bit better if we went ahead and paint matched it. So let me know down in the comments. Should we just throw it on to see how the carbon looks? Or should we go ahead and just wait and get the final kind of product once it's fully painted and installed on the car? I'm leaning towards that route, but I also kind of want to see it full carbon on the car. But I just don't want to go through the hassle of removing the old stock fender, putting this one on, and then just taking it off again to send it to the body shop, because we're gonna be doing that soon. The goal here is to get everything paint matched to the exact color of the car. Hopefully we don't have to do any blending. We can just get a very spot on finish. We already have a shop that's gonna be doing that for us, but I'm gonna leave our vents exposed. So all of this, maybe even like a pinstripe around the outside perimeter of the vent is going to be carbon, as well as the actual vents themselves. And then I want to see if the body shop can fade into carbon. So I have green, 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 fade, fade, fade into full exposed carbon. If they can't do that, I want to see if we can just keep a slight stripe all the way on the edge as carbon, just so when you look at the car, it looks stock from a distance, but once you get a little bit closer, you start noticing the details. It's not an OEM fender, and it's actually a carbon fender that we paint matched. Now I'm seeing both of them side to side. I'm actually really curious on how it's gonna look on the car. So in terms of the quality, honestly, it looks pristine. Like, I don't see any imperfections other than what I did myself. My dumb self cut too close to the fender with a blade, and I actually kind of nicked the carbon. Hurt my soul, but not as much, because I know we're gonna get it fixed and painted and whatnot. But right here, I don't know if you guys can see it. Oh yeah, you guys can see it right there. You see that? I got the epoxy. You can kind of feel it when you drag your nail against it. But yeah, that definitely hurt. It is what it is. But now that it's not raining, we can actually kind of place the fender roughly where it's gonna be, so you guys can see how it looks. And I'm actually very excited because I haven't seen it yet. So surprising how light this thing is. Like, just, you can hold it up with basically 2 fingers, 3 fingers. But yeah, this is gonna sit just like that. I wonder how it's gonna look on the green. Like if we just did the full carbon exposed and not painted it. I think it'll still look good. Obviously it's gonna look better paint matched, but I'm tempted. I don't know how hard it is to take the stock fenders off. So that's kind of what's stopping me right now. Honestly, I probably did the most boring thing rather than installing the fenders, and that was me cleaning my garage. We had a little change of plans, and I had to make space and clean up the garage a little bit. So this is my definition of clean. Obviously, we still have some stuff we need to take through a cycle, like this thing. We have our old E30 exhaust that needs to go. We have a bunch of wood pieces. I was doing some woodworking, so that all needs to go except my ramps. Those are useful. And then tell me what I should do with these E30 seats. So we have 2 E30 seats. I really don't know what to do with them. I'm not tempted to throw them away, but I also don't think anyone's gonna buy them. So you guys tell me. If anyone is watching this and you guys need E30 seats, they're all yours. Honestly, take them off my hands for free. I just don't want to deal with them anymore. But yeah, we got that. Our fenders are gonna be gone soon, so hopefully we get those situated. And then to this side of the garage, we actually did make some additions. So we added a new metal pegboard, so that way we could throw some tools on here. We got some socket holders here as well, but they're not gonna stay there for long. I'm gonna try to situate my screwdrivers, my wrenches and stuff over here. I have my other hand power tools over here as well. And then we got a little bit more storage down here for whatever that we need. But overall, looking a lot better. Compared to how it used to look, it's not as clean, but it hasn't been this clean since the day we started the E30 build. So honestly, this is progress to me. I'll take it. And again, apologies, because this was probably the most boring thing I could have done. In the same video with the G80 fenders, you guys deserve me at least putting them on. But again, there's really no point in me doing that until we get the car to the body shop. So for today's video, I think that's gonna be it. And we do have a little surprise coming soon as well. So definitely stay tuned. If you haven't already, go down and subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.